Show me.
In the beginning
Show
was
me.
the Word, and the Word was God.
I will be Christian if
And the
you
Word
show
of God
me.
is true.
Jesus said, I'm your God.
Jesus said that he would rise from the dead the third day. But you say he didn't die.
It is my birthday, and so I want to celebrate it by inviting everybody I don't know instead of those I do know, but also some of them who I do know. And the idea is that we are living in an increasingly isolated manner. We know very few people. We very seldom know our neighbours, and we certainly don't know 1/1000th of the number of people who inhabit the earth. And for me, this is the great challenge of this century. What is it that we can discover? No longer discover the moon, no longer discover new continents, but discover who inhabits the world. And we need new methods to achieve this. And the idea of the Oxford News is to provide an incentive, not just to have an idle conversation, not just to exchange pleasantries, even though that is desirable in circumstances, but above all to get people to think about what really matters to them, to exchange these ideas, and in that way to get to know somebody very well.
You say he didn't die. You say he didn't rise from the dead. You saying that Jesus is a liar. You're saying you're telling the truth. We got to believe you.
The aim is to start by choosing a question and answering it yourself. Because if you ask somebody you don't know one of these questions, they say, you know, why are you asking me that? But if you open yourself up, first of all, and show that you're willing to answer this question yourself, they will respond, and they will tell you what they think, and then you'll discuss it. And you discuss it not simply in terms of your own experience, but you discuss it in more general terms. How are your, say if we take the first question, how are your priorities different from those of other civilizations, other times? Why is it that you have these priorities? In other words, you put it in a more general context. And in this way you think, well, are we spending our time in a useful way? Could we spend it as other people have spent it? Or should we learn to combine ideas from them with ours and so on? And how can we project into the future of where we want to go?
So what is it the purpose of your life? What is the meaning of your life? Young man, the one with the camera. What is going on over there? If I may ask you, over there you have
a conversation.
Conversation of what?
Between strangers about life.
About life?
Yeah.
So the meaning of life?
Well, about life.
In what terms?
What life's about, you know, friendship and love and...
yes. So life, how about when we say life is for another life? We came to this life for another life which is beyond this life. That is why we suffer. That is why we are tested. That is why we go through trial. That is why we see evil and good. But definitely, we did not come to this life like any other creature. We are unique human beings. We are so intelligent that we are the master of this planet. Because happiness in this planet also, we are behind a lot of destructions on this planet. Our life is unique, but there is life, which is the true life.
To see how other people think. And we live again, we have made a civilization which has turned us into specialists and has given each of one of us a jargon. That is to say, you're trained as an accountant, you talk in numbers, you're trained as a lawyer, you talk in terms of precedent and so on. You're trained as a scientist and you can only talk in certain, and even as a scientist, you can only talk within your speciality. And the inorganic chemist cannot understand the nuclear physicist and so on. So how can we break these barriers which we have created?
You don't have to. It's purely optional whether you use your brain or not. So Palestine was there on the map. It was not a country. Where did all the countries have their embassies? Not in Palestine, in Istanbul. Because for 400 years, it was the Ottoman Empire. They weren't countries, just part of the Ottoman Empire. Before that, it was the Abbaids and the Seleucids, Egyptians. The first ever Palestinian government came when the Israelis gave it to them. They've now got their own parliament in Ramallah and Gaza. For the first time ever in history, there's a Palestinian parliament.
So you go... I'm no longer afraid of God in the sense of cringing at slavery.
That you also may have fellowship with us. And truly, fellowship with the Father, with His Son, Jesus Christ.
That's a really simple one. I used to be a salesman, and I've lived in the world of making.
That's the bullshit. Anyway, before I close, I'd like to say to you, we're documentary makers. We make documentaries. We have a documentary coming out called The Age of Extremes.
Okay, I just want to say to you, thank you for coming to this conversation. I hope that we can meet again and that you can participate in the other activities of the Oxford Muse. We are taking your name if you would like to give it to us, and we can keep you informed of what we do. I hope you have succeeded in getting to know somebody well, and that it has been a worthwhile experience. So you can't hear me.
You have to do that about 10 times to different people.
Has anybody heard anything I've said?
Some of it.
About 2 people.
Not all of it. Well, it's impossible to
You
talk.
have to carry it around and say it to different people.
Okay, well, thanks very much, and we'll meet again. But please go on talking if you would like to. And I hope you enjoyed them yourselves.